What's going on, Mason? What's going on, George Mason University? What's up, George Mason University? What's going on, George Mason University? We're back. Summer ball!
I'm Perry Buckley.
Lindsay Hokinson.
And I'm DeMonte Shaw.
What's going on, George Mason University? Welcome back inside the press box, the last press box before spring break. I'm Vandy Bernard.
DeMonte Shaw.
And I'm Nathan LaPierre.
Thank you once again for having us. We once again want to shout out Omar for stopping by the show last week. And again, we're going to post up. He has plenty of parkour videos, and you get a look into his world to see what he does and how he does it. So we're definitely going to have those on our page throughout the course of the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned and check that out. Also, I want to shout out that we're going to have some contests, some giveaways over the course of the remainder of the semester. So you definitely want to make sure that you check our page. Keep following us. It's the Pressbox on Facebook or at GME Pressbox on Twitter. Look for us there. But I want to first just shout out senior Janae Picard of the women's basketball team. Even though it was a rough night last night, falling in the first round of the A10 tournament, we did win our opening game. But I want to shout her out for becoming the 17th Patriot to score 1,000 career points. So definitely a big shout out to Janae Picard. Congratulations. Coach Nyla talked about how it was. You would have thought they won like the World Series when she scored that 1,000 point, and just how the team reacted. So you can kind of see that close knit, that close bond that they have.
Yeah, they're really a tight group. They're really a joy to watch too.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm really proud of their season. I mean, not the ultimate goal, but they made some noise in the tournament, and went out with a bang with on a positive note. So it's a good way for her to end her career, Janae. So it's good for her.
Yeah, most definitely. And so we definitely want to, again, just like you said, not the way that we wanted the season to go. I mean, the seniors acknowledged that at their senior night, and Coach Nyla did as well. But I think you can see, just like you mentioned, them being a close-knit group and having Coach Nyla, I mean, you can definitely see that we're going to continue to get better year after year. They're going to continue to improve it. So we're definitely going to look forward to them next year and the years to come. I mean, they're definitely going to definitely do great things. They made strides this year, and that's definitely great to see. And speaking of making strides, men's basketball had a big win over LaSalle, 59-57. Sparked by Marco, 15-8, almost messed around and got a double-double.
Yeah, man's was balling. I'm not going to lie. I fell asleep about 2 minutes into the game.
You fell asleep?
I fell asleep. I took a nap because we were down. I think we hadn't scored a point, and it was like 12-0. And I was just like, I can't do this to my heart again. So I went to sleep.
So you took a nap. How was the nap?
Oh, the nap was wonderful. And it was even better when I woke up and saw that at half we were only down 2. And the commentators were giving Marco high praise for sparking that run to get us back into the game. So big ups to Marco and the whole team for getting this win, building this momentum going into the tournament. So I'm digging it. I'm sorry for napping on y'all. I won't do it again.
Yeah, well, Marco's definitely. I mean, that's a good thing to see because we want to, at this point, especially see who our big players are going to be next year. So Marco definitely is only a sophomore, so we look forward to more performances like that next year as well, and in the tournament.
So speaking of the tournament, again, the tournament, anything can happen. I mean, we know when this time of March Madness comes around and tournament play comes around, of course our only chance to get into the NCAA tournament will be to win the A10 tournament, which, I mean, we kind of mentioned off camera before the show. You mentioned how we've hung with the big teams, played them well. Of course, the main objective is to win. But we played them close. I mean, I think the confidence is there. We just have to learn how to close out games, limit the few mistakes that we have throughout the games. But, I mean, in any tournament or any one game, one and done situation, it's all about momentum. And I mean, we got the win against LaSalle, got Duquesne coming up. Definitely going to keep you posted on that when that game does happen. If we can win that game, we go to the tournament on a low win streak, have some momentum going.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
And like the commentators have reminded me, like they were talking to me, but they were like, if we
just personalizing it for you because you're the only one watching the game. But you were napping, so if you napped, how would they talk to? Were they just not talking at all?
They sent the brain waves to me. And when I woke up at halftime, It was like, if we get that tournament Brian Allen, the Brian Allen we got last year, and pretty much every tournament, but then we get the other guys to come with him, like, we're gonna be a dangerous team. Because last year Brian Allen was carrying the team throughout that tournament, the CAA tournament. He put the team on his back, and then even throughout the CBI, I mean, he was the guy. So if we can get him and then bring that 30-point Sherrod and that 15-8 Marco, you know, we're gonna be a scary team. People are gonna sleep on us because of our record, but I feel like we can play much better than our record. So
Yeah.
Almost definitely.
I don't know if they're sleeping on us anymore after, I mean, if they look at our late season schedule and see we've beaten UMass and Richmond and LaSalle, I mean, these are legitimate teams that we're beating down the stretch, and we probably should have beaten St. Louis too. So, yeah, definitely they don't want to sleep on us now because we're playing to the best of our potential at times.
Most definitely. And again, it comes down to momentum. Comes down to just playing. I mean, those games that we did play close. It comes down to just finding out what we did wrong and how to better ourselves in those moments, how to execute better in those certain moments. But just like you said, if we have all that come together, which I mean, we've seen it at periods this season at spurts, but not for a consistent stretch. And so if we can get that for a consistent period and throughout the tournament, I mean, yeah, we're gonna be pretty dangerous.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Leave Hewitt alone.
No, I mean it's been a trying season. I mean, of course, I mean I think anybody on the team would mention that. But again, I think I'm with you. I got hope for the A10 tournament. I got hope. Don't be surprised we come back from spring break and we A10 champions.
Yeah.
We gonna get hyped if that happens.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be a great show.
Yeah,
We're gonna have
streamers
balloons
in
and
here.
streamers
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything. Patriots, he's gonna go wild. You know, we're gonna keep him contained, but you know,
We'll try.
we'll try.
No.
But real quick, want to shout out, of course, spring sports seasons has started. Want to shout out lacrosse, improved to 2-2 after a 16-8 win over Liberty this past Wednesday. Want to shout out senior Rachel Obregon. She scored four goals, and I mean she's a scoring machine, as you have heard us shout her out last year on the show. So she's continuing to do her thing. I also want to shout out Caitlin McGinn, 3 goals, and Katie Mascalo, 3 goals as well. But George Mason University, definitely make sure you check out spring sports. But keep it locked right in here. We'll be back inside the press box. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, George Mason University, inside the press box. And cracking up over something off camera. But welcome back inside the show. And of course, if you've been a fan of the show, we're going to shift over to pro sports now. Recently, a topic came up. You kind of get topics from around the place, around the block. But recently, a topic came up and talked about on ESPN. And it was the conversation of when does loyalty become a vice? When does loyalty to a team, whether it's a player to a team or a GM to a certain player, when does that become a vice that becomes a detriment to the team? And so let's just start it off there.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't know if vice is the right word. Maybe just shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, if you're just going to stick with the same team, you know, it's sometimes just not right. You know, I've grown up a Celtics fan as well as a Wizards fan, and you know, so Paul Pierce was with the Celtics his whole career, and it just seemed right that he should retire with the Celtics. But you know, the situation just kind of situation just kind of dictated that it just didn't work out like that, and it would have been strange for him to be like, oh no, of course Garnett had the no trade clause, so he could have vetoed it, but you know, it's sometimes.
What about Doc Rivers?
Gotta let go, you know.
Tough time to be a Celtics fan.
Yeah. Well,
Rough life.
that's why I look at the Wizards.
Rigs, though.
I got
the rings.
the Wizards.
True.
Yeah, I feel like the ultimate example would be like Brett Favre and like the Packers, and like, oh, do we stay loyal to this guy, or is he trying to stay loyal to us? Like, what do we do? And I mean, it ended up working. I would say working out better more for the Packers than Brett Favre, but you know, I mean, he kind of scarred his legacy a little bit with his, I don't know, running around to different teams and getting in trouble.
Wasn't trying to be a mini camp and training camp.
Yeah.
My man didn't want to play preseason. Just want to show up on week 1.
But in that case, I feel like you have to gauge it. Like, you know, is staying loyal to this guy going to hurt our team? Like, what is he bringing to the table? Like, you know, and obviously, you know, Favre was not bringing much. I mean, he just wanted to go out there, sling the ball, you know, chill, come back next season, sling the ball, like, not put the work in anymore. So you have to let go, especially when you know what you have coming after him. So I feel like different teams have to gauge it, and the players have to gauge it. Like, Brett Favre should have known after the second retirement, all right, like maybe I need to stop being selfish and let this team move on, kind of like a Peyton deal where he's like, I love the Colts, but y'all should get luck. Like you're gonna move on and be better and build, with this guy and Irsay.
Kick him out.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, probably the best thing he ever heard because he's probably gonna do it anyway. But at least Peyton was mature enough to say, like I'm loyal to you guys, but because I'm loyal, I want what's best for you, and moving on from me would be what's best. Clearly, it worked out for Peyton.
It worked out for both ways. Yeah, it worked out both
so-
ways. He just fell in Seattle, unfortunately. But it worked out for the most part.
It just disappeared.
But I mean to pick it back up on your point. I think every situation is different. Every situation depends, because again, you mentioned Paul Pierce, mentioned Brett Favre. Every situation is different, and we see a situation kind of going on right now in basketball with Melo.
Yeah.
Melo says he loves New York. It means the Big Apple, it's the Mecca. Playing at Madison Square Garden as your home court every home game. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
But
Me. They stink every year.
but no, they have been awful.
Like really, like I don't know why you. I get why you'd want to play there, but you have to realize this franchise has just been bad for a long time. Like I would want to win games. I understand why you want to play.
That was gonna be my point. It's because the thing is, if again he loves New York, loves the city, but the thing is, you want to stay to the point where management owner James Dolan hasn't done anything for that team. Pretty much, exactly. He hasn't done anything to make that team better. He's mismanaged the team, which is why they've been to the position they've been in recently. Coach after coach, it seems like they have a group of players that don't mix, that don't mesh well. You just look at the roster, and it's like the pieces don't match up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're Melo, do you love New York that much that you want to stay and just hope that this guy's going to get it right to get your team, a good team around you? Or, you've made enough money, you're still going to go somewhere and you're still going to get paid. To us, you're getting paid regardless.
Mhm.
So.
He's probably already a Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
So you got that out of the way, but now you want to win some
I
championships.
don't understand why he's even entertaining the thought, saying that if they can build around him, then I'll stay. But it's like, dog, you've been there for how long, and they still haven't done anything for you? Like,
Could be just
sometimes,
PR.
Yeah.
He could have already made up his mind and say he's walking. Again, we talked
Just
on
not trying to pull that
cameras.
LeBron.
Exactly.
Oh, that's true.
LeBron effect.
Exactly. You
Won't
talked
think
off
special,
camera about how Joakim Noah approached Melo about coming and joining the Bulls.
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty deadly team.
Yeah.
If Derrick Rose gets back on the court, but
even if he doesn't, I guess
it's still a good team.
they're still playing without
look
him.
where they are now.
Yeah.
Third in the East right now without him. So.
Yeah.
Well, I just have to say though, I really don't, and we discussed this too. I don't know if there's a good system fit though. The Bulls are very clamped down, like hardcore, physical defensive team, and Melo just wants to go out there and shoot 50 shots a game.
If he played for Thibodeau, he gonna have to play defense.
Yeah.
If he goes there,
will
he's gonna
he?
have to play.
I
He don't have
don't
a
know.
choice.
Yeah, that could cause friction,
It
Right.
could.
He may not like that pressure on defense because, his claim to fame is being a great offensive player. So I don't know.
Right. Just throwing people in does not always work. You look at the Lakers; they just, oh yeah, we got Kobe and Dwight and Steve Nash. Let's throw them together and see what happens. And it doesn't always work.
Yeah, it'll be a challenge. Hopefully wherever he goes, I feel like he's smart enough to make the decision that'll be best for him, and he'll be able to fit into the system. Experiencing what he's experiencing in New York,
Yeah.
knowing that you can't just
learned a lesson.
you can't just throw people together. You have to go where you fit, or go where they're gonna work around you, actually work around you, not just talk about it, but actually
Right.
build around you, and get a championship.
Actually, I know I totally just destroyed this idea, but I do think it would actually make them better. I just think it would.
Make up your mind.
No. I want to clarify because I don't think.
Nathan Bayless over here.
Yeah, no. I think it would make them better. It's just it wouldn't be the same kind of team. I don't think it would be as much as people would think. People think, oh, this team's already really good, and you add Carmel, and suddenly they're going to be as good as the Pacers or Heat, and I don't think it's going to be like that. I think right now one of their biggest problems is they can't score, and certainly he'll help with that a lot. But I don't think it's a perfect system fit. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, and what I'm going to say is that the thing about I'm not it's not my idea, so I'm gonna shout him out. But Kenny Jet Smith, I mean, what he said during the course of the beginning of the season when they're talking one time that and when it comes to NBA, it's about philosophy. And something I was reading up is that the best teams, best coaches find a way to implement their players into, so not necessarily a system, but they know how to get the best out of their players. So player spacing is what it's called, getting the best out of their players. So this, as you mentioned, the problem with Chicago right now is scoring. Defense is lights out. They'll play defense with anybody. They'll shut anybody down. I mean, we've seen that. We mentioned, again, they're third in the East right now without Derrick Rose, with the team they have now. Had they had him, I mean, you talk about a 3-team race easily in the Eastern Conference, hands down. But if you add somebody, let's say Derrick Rose comes back, you add somebody like a Melo that can score. I mean, we've seen that. I think you can adjust. Of course, it's going to be an adjustment period. It's not going to be right off the bat. Oh, you add Melo, you add D Rose in, they're going to be lights out.
Yeah.
It's going to be an adjustment period. But I think when you have two guys of that caliber with the team around them, two guys that can score at will, create their own shot. I mean, I think it instantly makes that team better. It definitely makes them a championship contending team. The Knicks are not. I mean, the Bulls have the pieces there, just need another score. But, I mean, it's a topic we can talk. I mean, we will talk about it later on. We'll get back to that.
Get out of New York, Melo.
For real, though.
Yeah, I agree. We all agree
Help
with
yourself.
Yeah.
But speaking of top players and great performances, recently LeBron James had 61 points against the Charlotte Bobcats. I mean, we're not going to put the Charlotte Bobcats. I mean, they're pretty good. I mean,
they're a playoff team this year.
Yeah, they're a playoff team. To mention their
East,
defense, they're one of the
so.
top. It's not, but I mean, their defense, their ranking is top. I think they're like 5th.
They're a good defensive team.
A good defensive team.
That is true.
And so, I mean, stats-wise, they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Like,
I mean, it's not the Charlotte Bobcats of a few years ago. They're better. They're a little bit better. They're getting better.
Yeah.
But LeBron scored 61 on them.
Yeah.
And Melo scored 62 on these same Bobcats.
They just
Depends
use
the other four
Bobcats.
But, I mean, historic performance. I mean,
Yeah.
he went on a tear. Just one of those nights where, I mean, he mentioned you're just feeling good. He said it's like throwing a golf ball in the ocean. This is one of those nights where you just throw it up anything and you just, the basket's wide. You just throw everything in there.
Yeah. As Shaq would say. Yeah.
So, I mean, definitely historic performance.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I thought it was really great. And then I listened to Dominique Wilkins talking about
I
it.
was just about to say
And
that.
I was like, wow, you're right. Like, and then I just got to thinking, I was like, it was great. Like, 61 points is great.
You want to remind the audience what Dominique said?
Oh, he's basically like, it's not the NBA that it was before. Like, he was talking about how he goes out and he's battling against like other superstars and you're tired and you're fighting throughout the game and you pull out 61. Then it's amazing, but like, he was talking about like some of the defensive schemes just weren't like, he's just like, they weren't really getting a hand up. They
And
weren't.
he talking about how they weren't bringing in doubles or how they're switching out screen and rolls and how that freed LeBron up to pretty much have good looks throughout the whole night.
Yeah. And then that I don't know, that brought up a point to me like he's scoring 61 on the Bobcats, but like, score 61 on the Pacers or the Bulls, then I'll be like really impressed.
That would be ridiculous.
That would be
like,
impressive.
I mean,
I feel like that would be equivalent.
61, I mean, you can't just discard 61. They had some good screen and roll. I mean, that's still ridiculous. That's an all-time franchise record. I mean, you can't use. I'm sorry.
I agree. I think.
I mean, you can't just say, oh, it was a scheme thing or something like that. It was an amazing game, and then he kind of crashed back down to earth, and he had the 22 points and the 18 points the last couple of games, so he crashed back down. But yeah, I'm not gonna try to qualify this in any way. Like, oh, this era he would have done this or whatever. It's just impressive. 61 in regulation.
Yeah.
It's very.
I'm with you on that. My thing is, it's an NBA team and you score 61 points. I mean, 61 points. I mean, we look at
NBA team.
A good
I know.
defensive team. A good defensive team.
Stop hating on the Bobcats. I mean,
They're a playoff
61 is you don't see 50 point games every day.
Playoff team in the East, though.
They're like
He still
fifth. They're
scored
like
61
they're like
points.
fifth
He
in the
did,
league
and that's
in points
great.
allowed.
I mean, you're the Heat fan, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm glad that you don't have like the typical like Matt Newman shout out bias. But
I'm just saying, like, as a fan, like, I really appreciate it. I thought it was great, but I was like, man, like, this would be even sweeter if it was on, like, a legitimate top team in, like, people's minds. Like, oh, he dropped 61 on Joakim Noah. Like, on the Bulls, but
Yeah.
it's like saying that. Or, like, on, you know, battling against Paul George, he scored 61. You know,
That
battling,
would be ridiculous.
yeah, or, like, against the Knicks, I mean, that's not saying much, but, like, battling
No,
against
but they have
Durant
seen-
or, like, Melo, like, you know what I mean? I think that's what Neek was saying, like, it's
Yeah.
really impressive when you're
Yeah.
battling against, like, another superstar and y'all, like, say him and Melo scored 61, 62 in that same game. I think that would have impressed Dominique.
Bird and Dominique
Yeah.
when they had their matchup.
Yeah.
But team defenses are just a lot better in general. They're going to rotate. They have a lot of better switching schemes. They're not just going to let. They're usually just not going
Coaches
to
are
let.
smarter. They're like, we're not going to let you go one-on-one.
Yeah. They're not just going to let. They're going to try not to let one person just go off like that, which is why an individual performance like that is so impressive in this day and age.
But I'm happy with it. I mean,
You're not. You're not. I mean, I'm glad that we have parity, or it's not all the same parity. It's
Yeah.
switching things up. Got a little disagreement.
you know,
That's good. We need that.
still
Yeah.
love you, Bron Bron.
Oh, we know.
Got a poster coming soon. I'm put it right next to my Michael Jordan poster. It's gonna be sweet.
You got a LeBron poster.
I post it on the press box when I get it. Yeah,
Nobody wants to see that.
it's gonna be a nice setup. Trust me.
Nobody's gonna
we'll
see
take
that.
your time.
We're trying to make people come to the show, not leave and not watch it.
Yeah.
They're gonna come because
We'll put the Patriot
Okay.
head over LeBron. Just be a
I like
Patriot
that.
head poster.
I like that. Yeah, Patriot post. That's what we do. We got you, dog. We got you. But speaking of LeBron, real quick, just to finish it up. You got the LeBron Durant MVP race as of today.
y'all are something else.
No, I like LeBron. We don't care about your poster and what posters you have in your room. Hey, real quick, the LeBron Durant MVP. Real quick, as of today, Durant or LeBron? As of today, right now, who you got? MVP.
That's tough. I don't want to let my bias say LeBron, but I think as of late, LeBron's surging. As of now, Durant.
I'm gonna say Durant too.
Yeah.
Durant.
Statistically superior season so far. It's close though.
And he's
Very
doing
close.
it without Russell for the most part. I mean, Russell's
That helped
back, but
That helped him.
yeah. So,
Gets more shots.
because I mean, LeBron scored 61 when D-Wade wasn't playing. So, like if D-Wade was down. But.
George Mason University, thank you for joining us inside the press box. All you had to do was say LeBron or Durant.
I'm sorry, I couldn't
We
help
will
it.
talk about this later. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful spring break. We'll see you when we come back. As always, I'm Veda Bernard.
DeMonte Shaw.
And I'm Nathan LaPierre.
As always, thanks to Grace and Ryan for helping us out. We want to shout out to Rob, always helping us out and posting up our videos. These videos that come up and edited, that's
In all of their
work.
glory.
Things on YouTube.
Check us out, find us. We'll see you next time. As always, press on.